Ah, Kim is here. Amazing.
Rob,
Buddy.
my man, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, when I swing, I put that fire to your chest. Talking ass, better wear a fucking vest.
So we're talking about abiogenesis again, are we, Rob?
Yeah. Oh, you saw the you see the little. Oh, you do. I don't know if you can see it earlier, but if you I had a little diagram using like just a sketch diagram. I was using my notepad from my laptop, and I was using a screen share.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just hopped in.
Okay, well, it's earlier here. I'll pull it up for you.
Okay.
So I did save it, so that's all. I'm like, you know what? I should probably save this because it's probably gonna be helpful for a future reference. All right. Just give me a moment here, Ken. All right. Documents. There we go. All right. So go. Window. There you go.
Okay. So I have a fundamental problem with your first premise.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
We have observed organic compounds being synthesized from non-organic compounds. That's what the Miller-Urey experiment was about.
Okay.
So
we have observed it?
Yeah, amino acids, which form the basis of protein.
And it happened without any kind of chemical reaction, nothing.
Well, I mean, the chemical reaction is sort of, it happens on its own, right? Chemicals don't react. We tell them to react.
Well, I mean, usually chemicals react because they come together, but
sure, but those chemicals coming together don't require human intervention.
Right. Well, my thing is my contention with it is, how do chemicals come together if there's no force driving the chemicals together? How does it just happen? That would be my contention.
How does water form, Rob?
Pardon?
How does water form?
How does water form?
Yeah, when hydrogen and oxygen come together, they form water.
Right, but there's still external forces that cause it. Could be wind, could be rain.
Okay, the same external forces
could be gravitational forces. So there's still external forces that are
but the same external forces that cause hydrogen and oxygen to come together to form water cause these chemicals to be in presence of each other, if you want to call it that, and then they are excited by something like lightning, as per the Miller-Urey experiment, and they synthesize into organic compounds like amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins. And so this is something that we have observed, and something that we can reasonably expect could happen naturally without human intervention.
All right. Is your mic all the way up, Cam?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. I'm in a noisy place, so that's why I'm asking.
I can't change my microphone levels. I'm sorry. I can move my microphone closer to me here.
Okay, that'd probably be helpful.
Yeah, I'll set it here closer on my desk. Is that any better?
Yes, true. Just try to enunciate. I'm not saying you don't enunciate well. Just I'm in a noisy place, so just
you're good.
Just enunciate well. That's all.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, we have performed experiments that demonstrate that the synthesis of amino acids from non-organic material is more than possible.
Yeah, see, the thing is, like, okay, well, let's just say as in origins, we can talk about what we're observing now, but as far as like the absolute origins of life, I still find this a very implausible theory.
Okay, so is your problem that we did not directly observe the origin of life, and therefore we have no record of it?
No, not exactly. Because like, there's things that neither of us have observed that we know are true.
Sure, I mean,
I didn't observe Hitler killing the Jews, but I'm pretty certain that it happened.
Sure. The key here is that we have an experiment, a procedure that you can use to replicate these findings, right?
Okay, well maybe I'll look up the Miller experiment after we stop the live stream here. Is there anything else in my little diagram and that I've got up on the screen sharing that you'd like to comment before I stop sharing that screen, Ken?
I mean, other than, is it possible for abiogenesis to have ever occurred? Again, the Miller-Urey experiment shows that is possible. We can do it. We can do it in a lab, and that means that it's possible in nature. Has there ever been a better explanation for the origins of life than God? Definitely. There are definitely better explanations.
Okay, well, go with the diagram. What are they?
Well, abiogenesis would be the best contender. Abiogenesis is currently the leading candidate as far as the origins.
Has there been another alternate explanation for life other than abiogenesis that would be on par with God?
It would be superior. Panspermia is, one that's been abandoned by biology.
I just heard the term once or twice. Like, what does that mean, Ken?
Panspermia meaning that life did not originate on Earth, and it was carried by an impact of like an asteroid or a meteor.
Yeah, but that just kind of kicks the can down the street, doesn't it?
Sure, but it doesn't kick the can down the street for our purposes. We care about the origin of life on Earth, and the origin of life on Earth, according to panspermia, would be
okay. But
this is a theory that's abandoned by biology because there's not enough evidence for it.
But Kim, I didn't say origins of life on Earth. I just said origins of life.
Okay. Well, I mean, if we're going to speculate on the presence of life on other planets, that's
well. I'm not. I'm not talking about the origin of where. I'm talking about the origin of. Period.
Right. Well, I mean, we have to narrow it down to the origin of life on Earth, right? Because this is the life that we understand to exist.
Yeah, but then you're making a case for the location that I'm not. I mean, I'm not saying that's an illogical thing to do. I'm just saying.
Are you making a case for the existence of life elsewhere other than Earth?
I'm not. I'm just. But the thing is, I worded my question in a way that it makes it just the location kind of irrelevant for the how origins.
Well, I think the location is relevant.
I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying that
life on Earth as we understand it is only we can imagine that different kinds of life could.
I agree
exist.
that's a rational deduction, but the reason I word things in a way that is just because so we can dispense of like nuances and semantics.
Sure, but I think the narrowing of the scope is kind of necessary here, because otherwise we're inviting questions about life on other planets and the possibility of life originating elsewhere.
Right.
Which is,
right. I mean, we can have a discussion about like multiverses if we want to, but which again just kicks the can further down the street.
I don't even think multiverses is anywhere relevant here. That would be the origins of the universe.
Okay. No, I'm just talking about like if we're just going to keep going in regress, like you know what I'm saying?
Sure. I mean, I know you're alluding to that problem that many creationists point to, which is the problem of infinite regress. But that's not really a problem for people who are rationally minded and scientifically skeptical.
You think infinite regress is plausible?
I don't think it's a problem.
That's not what I asked you.
Do I think that it's possible?
Possible, yeah.
Not really. I mean, I don't even think that it's a thing.
Yeah. I
think this is something that this is a very what would be the word? This is a very human-centric way of looking at the universe, which is you kind of have to separate yourself as a human from the rest of the universe and understand that it's not going to function in the way that you expect it to. And assuming, because we observe that most things have causes, that everything must have a cause is a bit shaky, rationally speaking. There's no reason to think that the universe had a cause. There's no reason to think that life had a cause. It just sort of happened.
But we don't observe that with anything else in the world.
We observe it with everything in the world. There's no reason for weather to happen, but it happens.
No. Let me be more. I mean, like we don't we like for any material thing in the world, we don't
Okay.
we would never say that any material thing in this world doesn't have a cause.
I mean, define cause.
That the thing requires a designer on the face of it.
Oh,
like
well
your
then
head-
clearly
like,
nothing in this world is caused.
like no, like my coat requires a designer. My sweater requires
Okay.
a designer.
The
This
gold,
wall behind me
under the mountains of California does not require a designer.
Pardon?
It requires the gold under the mountains of California does not require a designer. It requires plate tectonics and mineral
Right.
science. That's about it. Like the minerals that we find on Earth in the ground don't require a designer. You don't need a designer to explain why you find gold in certain parts of the world.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
You'd be
pull up.
depressed, Rob? You'd be depressed if you found out that we weren't special?
If life was not, yeah, I would, yeah. So I'm pulling this
Why
up
is that? Well, hold on. Let me probe you on that. Why is that?
because I find if there was no because I'm not just, but I'm talking about the fact that if I found out that there was no creator, no designer, like I would find it maddening that this life is all there is, and that I'm not saying that life isn't beautiful or wonderful, but I'm just like, I would just think if this is all there is, and there's nothing more than what I see and perceive with my senses, I would just find it maddening and depressing.
Really? I find that super interesting because from my perspective of knowing that this is all I have, I find myself incredibly driven to create that purpose for myself and to make the most of what I've been given in a colloquial sense, right? If this is all I have, then I should probably make the most of it.
Oh, I don't dispute that we should. I don't dispute that. I think we should make the most of it all. But see, it's not that I wouldn't make the most of it if I found out that everything I believed was a lie,
Mhm.
but that I would. I think it would definitely throw me though. It's like, remember, we're talking about the things like, okay, for example, think of like what's at the hierarchy, what's at the top of your value system,
Freedom.
right? Pardon?
Freedom.
Okay, now imagine if you found out that freedom was an illusion. How would you feel? If you found out it wasn't true, that there's that freedom is not actually freedom, that you're actually a slave to many things, and that your entire conceptual paradigm of freedom is nothing more than delusional thinking. How would you feel?
I mean, the concept of freedom is a human creation. I mean,
Right, but I'm just
ultimately we're a slave to nature in that sense, right?
But again, maybe the better question is like, how would you feel if you found out every single thing you valued to hold dear and true was actually a lie?
I would imagine I'd be shocked for a moment, and then I would be driven to understand this new paradigm, and then I would try to realign my life within that new paradigm.
No, that's not. Sorry, I'm just. I'm gonna pull this up later.